There was a human head. There was genitalia in the bucket.
Let me stop you there. What do you mean genitalia?
What I would recognize as a penis and testicles.
Love. It can heal, inspire, and sometimes it can kill. What you're about to witness isn't just another courtroom drama. It's a descent into madness, where obsession curdled into horror and affection twisted into something unrecognizable. This is the shocking story of Taylor Schabusiness and her disturbing reaction to her life sentence. February 23, 2022, Green Bay, Wisconsin. A mother walks down into her dimly lit basement, expecting the ordinary. But what she finds is a nightmare carved into reality. Inside an old, battered bucket, the dismembered head of her 24-year-old son, Shad Thyrion, stares back at her with lifeless, glassy eyes. His name will be etched into the annals of true crime forever, not because of who he was, but because of what was done to him. The woman responsible? Taylor Schabusiness. A name almost too absurd for the darkness it conceals. Taylor wasn't a stranger lurking in the shadows. She was Shad's lover, his confidant, the last person he ever trusted. 2 days before the gruesome discovery, Taylor picked Shad up from his mother's house. They laughed, shared secrets, and vanished into the dim corners of an apartment where substances blurred the lines between euphoria and madness. But it wasn't the drugs that killed Shad. It was Taylor, with her own hands wrapped around his throat, squeezing until his last breath became a whisper lost in the basement walls. She didn't stop there. No, the story gets darker, much darker. Taylor used a metal chain to finish the job, her face emotionless as life drained from his body. Then, as if possessed by something monstrous, she dismembered him. His remains scattered, plastic bags, cardboard boxes, and worst of all, right under his mother's roof. When did you start cutting up his body? Wow, like almost right away. I was sucking and cutting at the same time.
Cutting up his body.
Like almost right away. I was sucking and cutting at the same time.
No remorse, no flicker of regret, just cold detachment, as if she were describing a recipe instead of an atrocity. What she did next plunged beyond the realms of horror. Taylor Schabusiness desecrated Shad Thyrion's body for hours after his death, committing acts so grotesque they defy comprehension. She violated him, mutilated him, using objects meant for intimacy to carve symbols of her own deranged possession. There was no flicker of regret in her confession, no hesitation, just the hollow echoes of a mind untethered from humanity. 3 months later, the darkness she left behind caught up with her. Police discovered Thyrion's remaining parts stashed like discarded remnants in the back of her minivan. It wasn't just a crime scene, it was a mobile shrine to her depravity. In court, Taylor Schabusiness sat with the same void in her eyes, facing charges as chilling as her crimes: intentional homicide, third-degree sexual assault, mutilation of a corpse, and more, each count a testament to the depths of her monstrous acts. The investigation unearthed another layer of darkness. Taylor Schabusiness had drawn twisted inspiration from the notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, mimicking his ritualistic patterns with a macabre devotion. She confessed to draining Thyrion's blood into the bathtub, then bathing in it as if washing away the last threads of her humanity. The interrogator's face, usually stone, cracked with disbelief at this revelation. But the courtroom horrors didn't end there. On February 23rd, during a routine appearance, Schabusiness erupted like a storm unbound, lunging at her attorney, Quinn Jolly.
Stop. Stop it.
Fists flew, gasps echoed. It wasn't just violence. It was the embodiment of chaos she carried within. Ironically, 6 months prior, Quinn had filed a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity on her behalf. Perhaps that plea echoed louder in that moment as courtroom officers wrestled her to the ground. The attack stemmed from something trivial, a request to delay the trial date. But for Schabusiness, patience was as foreign as remorse. Following the assault, Quinn Jolly withdrew from the case, leaving her defense as fractured as her psyche. Future court appearances saw Schabusiness restrained with a spit guard, a silent testament to her unpredictable volatility. During one session, Shad Thyrion's uncle faced her, his words cutting deeper than any courtroom verdict. "None of us would be here if you had sought help. There's always help out there, but you chose this path, and now we all live with the wreckage." Michael Thyrion, father of Shad. "Taylor," his voice trembles, but his words are sharp as broken glass. "I want to tell you that I forgive you for what you did to my son. But forgiveness isn't a gift, it's a burden. And you chose the coward's path. You turned your suffering into a weapon, making others bleed for your pain. That choice, it's yours to carry now, forever. And still, I forgive you, not for your sake, but for mine. I will ask the judge to consider if there's ever a day you deserve to walk free again. But deep down, I know the streets aren't meant for you anymore." Judge Thomas Walsh didn't just disagree, he condemned the very notion. What Taylor Schabusiness had done wasn't merely criminal, it was an affront to human decency, a stain on the fragile fabric of our shared morality. The jury needed just 30 minutes, no debates, no doubts, guilty on all counts. Even as her new attorney pleaded insanity, claiming her mind was fractured beyond reason, the jury saw through the facade. This wasn't madness, it was malice, premeditated and cold as the steel chain she used to kill. Taylor Schabusiness was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. No escape, no redemption. And as the verdict echoed through the courtroom, she didn't cry, she didn't beg, she smirked. Because for some, remorse is a language they never learned to speak. Love courtroom drama and real-life justice? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always up to date with our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.